What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, RedemptionAgency.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. We got the baby girl down here with us. Checking you out. She's got the stare on. She's watching you. Wednesday. We are Wednesday. Right? I think. Yes. One great thing about working for yourself, you don't remember what day it is most of the time. All right, got a little bit to ship on both stores. What did I do yesterday? That's the million-dollar question. And how bad was the shutdown overnight? There's still shutdowns going on overnight, even though my sales have picked up during the day. Like on the clothing store right now, my last sale was 10:30 p.m. last night. We're at 7 o'clock this morning. So, yeah, we're headed, in a few more hours, we'll be at 12 hours without a sale. So hopefully something will come in before then. But, yeah. But this is the account that was messed up with the labels not printing in order. As far as the other account, let's see, 9:30 last night, and we had one at 12:30, and we had two in the 3 o'clock hour, and then one at 5:45. So a little choppy there, but a little choppy. All right, so what did we do yesterday? Clean up all this stuff. All right. I'll hit the clothing store first for yesterday. This is the one that the clothing store was behind yesterday most of the day, so well, at least we made it up to $419. I was sitting in the 300 for quite a while. 419.24, so close to the 500. 20 items sold. Average sale price $21, up 56%. With 17 buyers, so price per order was higher than that. All right, 20 items. Let's go over here. So in the media store, $803. You heard that right. $803, up 111%. 76 items sold, so we had a total of 96 items sold yesterday, for a grand total of $1,222 for the day. Beautiful. So the first 2 days, I have beaten last week's average day of $869, I believe that was. So I said in order to beat that, we're going to have a couple few $1,000 days. So our average is over 1,000 for the first 2 days. So that's good. good to see. What was video game boxes and cases, number one, $158. And that was largely part to a viewer, actually. So that was probably the biggest viewer purchase out of the store I've ever had. So thank you again. Scott, I believe it was. Thank you. Oh, wow. I'm looking at this. Usually CDs are number one, right? They're not even number two or number three. CDs are number 4 on the list yesterday. Number 2 was cassettes. And I told you cassettes were going to be going up because I've been putting up a lot of cassettes. And video games and consoles was number 3. So, there you go. But even the video games, that's only $250 of the day. And it was $1,222 day. So even if you took them out, it's still like $1,000 day. So you can't say that nobody can say, well, if the viewer didn't buy that, you wouldn't have had a good day. Well, no, technically I still would. So it'd still be $1,000 day, even if over $1,000 day, even if that didn't come through. So here's where I want to see. So 8. Here's where volume comes into play. So average sale price per item yesterday was $10.57. Average price per order, $25. So that's the number some people try to go for just to get, on the average price per item. Well, average price per order works just as well for me. Sure, you're pulling more items, but if you have your system set up, I could probably list, pull, and ship an order of 20 items faster than some people could list a pair of jeans for one pair of jeans. Maybe not, but maybe some. I hear some people take 10 minutes just to list one item. I could do 20 items probably in about, altogether, pull and everything, maybe 5 minutes. If the 20 items are just throughout the basement randomly. So from list, pull, and ship 20 cassettes that are in far reaches of the basement, maybe 5 minutes. So if you got the system set up, it's good to go. But it's good to see that. Look, I don't know what's changed lately. Maybe it's a little bit of everything. There's some people saying the economy is going backwards, but I don't know. I feel like it's going forward. I feel like it's going up, personally. So it could be a little bit of that. eBay maybe finally, ever since my big account, this account started acting properly, meaning my seller hub's not loading extremely slow, things have been on the up and up since then. I wish I could remember what day exactly that was. If I was going to guess, I would say it was probably 10 days ago. And since then, those 10 days have been all higher than the past 20 days. So I always had a gut feeling that the fact that my account was moving so slow, that it had something to do with the way the customers can see my items also. Because if it's taken me 3 minutes just to get into my active listings, how are the customers even able to even see the item? Are they even loading properly onto eBay? I always, and like I said, I'm not tech savvy, but just a gut feeling always felt like that account was being suppressed somehow, some way. So whether that was on like a bad server and it finally got fixed, or onto a new server, or whatever the case may be, and now it's taken a while for my items to populate, if you will, index, that's the proper word, to properly index. And it's just getting better and better because I'm getting better reaction times, better because I feel if the items had a slow response on eBay as they did with my seller hub, that every problem, which would normally be, say if it's an hour indexing for somebody else, it might take mine a day, just because I feel like, so every time I feel like we had these shutdowns at night, there was no fast recovery. It was like a long recovery, and then that next day shut down again. I think I've said this about a year ago on one of my videos. It feels like I get shut down every night for maintenance, but yet it doesn't give my account time to index. It feels like, because I felt like my indexing was strung out a lot longer than normal, the way it should be. So I felt like just as my items were starting to get indexed again, it got shut down again. So I never really felt like my account got full blown up where it should be across the world on all eBay, etc., etc. Now, I believe that I'm finally getting, when there is a shutdown at night, I'm getting the quicker indexing, so my sales are bouncing back higher for the day. I just remembered all that, so I'm just processing it right now. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but going from gut feeling, taking what I felt the way it was, and now taking the way it's reacting now that it's fixed, it does feel like what I was saying and stating about it the whole time. Is it true? I don't know. But you can only go with what it feels like if you don't have the answers. Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Alrighty. Bye. So yeah. But as of this morning, we're at like 7:15. I'm at $45 on the media account and 0 on the clothing store. So off to a little slower start today than I think yesterday. Yesterday I got up late, so I can't really say. I was active at 9. It was kind of dead at 9, but once I started accepting the couple of offers, it seemed like everything woke up and things started rolling in about 9 o'clock. So we'll see in an hour and a half if like that 9 o'clock thing comes in again, where at 9 o'clock my sales just start rolling in again. I'll be curious to see about that. And that would also too fit into my items are finally indexing properly. Because yesterday was a clear what I've been complaining my account has not been getting. How many times have I said my account should be doing $1,000 to $1,200 a day? Yesterday, $1,200. So not question, just it's going to be, I'm lacking words today. I'll just be curious to see if it continues in such a way, because even with eBay issues, I'm going up now. So, like, it feels like little things are being finally fixed properly or done properly to where my account is starting to feel like it should. And if that's the case, it's been a long freaking 3 years. It's been a little over 3 years that I've been battling this problem. It's been 3 years. It's been about 3 years since my account started acting so sluggish and slow and what have you. And when I started complaining about all this stuff. So hopefully we're in the home stretch of things working properly. All right. Beyond that, I think I'm happy that I'm kind of got myself back into, like, my process has really made me really start enjoying everything again. Not that I didn't enjoy it before, but the way I have everything set up now, it's very motivating for me. Because I just got everything broken down into so many steps that I don't have to stress about. Like I would, my whole goal, I think everybody's whole goal, what you should always do is recognize your roadblocks mentally and address them. And that's what I always do with my processes. That's why they're broken down, and it's created in a way that I can change it up if I feel like it. If I just feel like taking pictures today, that's all I want to do. That's all I have to do. And it's still going to be moving me forward in the process. I may not get anything listed today, but that might mean I can list 400 items tomorrow, 500 items tomorrow, whatever the case may be. So the last step of my mental process, my roadblock, was doing the last step, and what do I do with that? Do I just do 5 at a time, 10 at a time, bring them down, put them in a home, go back up, blah, blah. So I've been trying to redefine that step. So I have like 3 different scenarios I can do depending on what I feel like doing. So I could just do 10 at a time, 20 at a time, bring them down, find the home for them. I have so many of these laying around since we use them consistently that if I want to, I can just finish them, throw them in a tote, finish them, throw them in a tote, let the totes pile up, bring down 100 at a time, find a home for them if I want. I can, since I'm breaking them all down into smaller boxes now, I can, with pictures, I can go ahead and finish them off and just put them back into that tote or that box, set it aside, do another, and just bring down a tote at a time and find a home for it. So I've got a few different setups for that, which is, I think, really eliminated that last roadblock for me. So, and the fact that I can go into my storage now and just pull out a box, and it feels like Christmas. I don't know what's in it, and I get excited when I find a $10 item or a $20 item, or, you know, I didn't expect those video game cases to do what they did, so that's exciting. I mean, I got $50 out of 2 of them, and they've just been sitting in the garage for years. So, and then the fact that somebody on the video came in and bought most of the rest of them. I mean, that's exciting. So the fact that I can just go into storage and grab something that's been in there for years, and it makes the now exciting. Like, that's something I didn't plan for doing the business the way I set it up. Buying by lots, listing what I can, throw it in storage when another lot buy comes in, repeat. 5 storage areas full of stuff. I didn't expect to have that Christmas feel, because at times, and some have said they would feel this way too, at times it felt overwhelming. I got all this stuff, what am I going to do? But if you learn how to narrow it down to one box at a time mentality, or one bag at a time, or one little section at a time, it gets a lot easier and it's not so overwhelming. So it's like I just had a sale pop through, or offer, one of the two, or maybe it was both. But yeah, so that's kind of a bonus for me. And I think that's helped. No, that was just an offer that came through. I don't have my glasses, so I can't really see. All right, before we ship these few items out and move on for the day and get to listing. So with those video game things, I added those on to my 24-hour sales because they sold within 24 hours of listing them. For March, up to $764. So $764 in 24-hour sales. That's a number that shows that if you consistently list, it won't sell if you don't list it, type of thing. So that number would be far bigger if I, instead of 24 hours, I made it a 48-hour window. That number, but I couldn't remember that. I'd have to check each one and it would be a pain in the butt. At least I can remember what I listed, kinda. I'm sure I missed some in the last 24 hours. If I put it to 48 hours, I wouldn't remember, but that number would probably be double that. So I got that feeling back again, that, and I think a big part of that is eBay starting to respond better now, act better. My accounts act better. I can, before I always had a problem just adding quantity to my account because it would take 3 minutes just to load an item when I search in my Seller Hub. Every time I would search in my Seller Hub, it would take 3 minutes to load an item. Every time. So I couldn't just add quantity very easily. So the fact that I can do that now quicker, that I believe has helped. Because when an item sells, it won't just go to 0 if I have more than one now. You know what I mean? So, and I've got tons, when it comes to media, I've got tons of quantity. So, Ruth Park Golf Course. Hat sold for $10.50. Headed to Palm City, Florida. Definitely just keep listing though. Next up, are you ready? I got to keep wearing the hat since we're on a winning streak. I can't change it. So we got Blues hockey shirt here, $10.50, and another one, $10.50. Blues. Headed to Roselle, New Jersey. Roselle. But yeah. I kind of like that eBay is starting to act better. Because once it feels like 100% again, then I could really give better advice as to, because I can tell you what will work better. I mean, for the last 3 years, I could do what I did the previous 15, and the previous 15, I could say, well, I do this and this, and it works. Where the last 3 years, it's more hit and miss. It's like, I don't know if this is going to work. Because nothing would act properly. So everything was like a shot in the dark, which led to also just not being very motivated to do anything, because no matter what you did, it didn't help. Where now, well, not now, but hopefully soon, it'll be to a point where if somebody says, well, I haven't had a sale in 2 days or 3 days or whatever, I can say, well, like, let me look at your store or whatever. What are you doing here? Like, you can give better advice because I would be understanding that what is working. Because like I said, when you have a lot of stuff, you see things more clearly, especially when it comes to problems, but it also comes into play when you do the positive parts of what you do. Whereas before, positive parts of what you do didn't matter. Positive part is list it. You just keep listing, list, but yet you wouldn't get results. Like, if I did this 24-hour thing a year ago with the same items, I would not expect the $764 within 24 hours, because I would put up high dollar items that I expected to move quick, and they would sit there until I ended them and sold similar, and then they would sell immediately. So it's almost like things got lost somewhere. Like, you can't give advice based on inaccurate information. KCPD mounted patrol hat sold for $10.50. Headed to Washington. Like, before, you could always say, well, if you're not doing this, this is why. If you're not doing A, B, C, and D, this is why your sales suck. The last 3 years, you couldn't do that. Just because sales just suck, because of a lot of the stuff was out of your control. So the things you did do, it just felt like a big jumbled mess. Like, you just throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks, and 90% of it doesn't stick. fucking nose. Now it's running. Ooh, yeah. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get up early today because I didn't fall asleep till after midnight. Then Pee-wee let me sleep for an extra hour than normal, so he got me up at 4. No, he didn't. I got up at 4. I had to use the bathroom. So I got up at 4 and then drank some water because I had quesadillas last night. And I always use seasoned salt to season my quesadilla. So I have to drink a lot of water the next day. And then he got me up at 5. So I guess I got a little bit of sleep between 4 and 5 because I got up at 5. You got to go to the bathroom. So instead of waiting to give him his medicine at 6, because I knew if I laid back down, if I fall asleep, wasn't going to get up at 6. So I gave him his medicine at 5. Laid back down, couldn't fall back asleep. So I just laid there and laid there and laid there. And then Jan got up, alarm clock went off at 6. I just laid there and laid there and laid there. I'm like, James, you're not falling back to sleep. You're wasting time. Get up. But being I fell asleep after midnight, I didn't think I was going to be able to. I thought I'd fall back asleep and not get up till like 9. China. I haven't said anything to China in a while. How's Adrian get up? Alrighty. First up, Living Springs. Vinyl record, so for $4, headed to Rockville, Maryland. So I probably have about 20 pieces of vinyl to finish this morning, and I'll get those listed. Maybe 100 pieces of vinyl from yesterday listed this morning. I'll move on to the next thing. Mark Shim. Sold for $9, headed to Northridge, California. Rocco. Spelled the exact same way as Rocco, my puppy, spelled. R-O-C-C-O. Oh, Rocco. I miss Rocco. He was my buddy. He was my buddy. All right, next up we got this Sony cassette recorder player, non-working, parts and repair. Sold for $8, headed to Franklin, Tennessee. I'm trying to figure out, now that things are running smoother, my mind's not so tied up with trying to figure out what to do, right? I'm trying to figure out the next thought process, the next, like, I'm always a believer, if you think it, you can achieve it, because it's subconsciously implanted into your head, right? Whereas before, when you're struck with adversity or stress or anything, it's hard to think like that, because your mind's so bogged down with unhealthy things, if you will, unhealthy or negative energies. So I'm trying to find that next thought process of, where do I want to put my thought energy into? And I'm not sure. I threw around the idea of, like, YouTube. And that's still probably number one on the list when it comes to thought process of whether that's video ideas, ideas on how to grow the channel, things like that, or topics to help people, or just something more fun related, more high energy related. So that's number one on the list. Number two is just like focus on I don't know what the definition of it would be. I just picture nature, whether that's, and picture nature and cabins and things like that, whether that's, trying to own my own cabin in the Smoky Mountains, or if it just means being able to start hiking again and enjoying nature. So I haven't honed in on what that vision is yet. So that's number two. And that's about all I got right now. So I'm just trying to figure out where to put that extra thought processing energy into. Instead of just letting it go to waste and not thinking about anything. Some of you may think that sounds crazy, and maybe it is, but that's just how I feel like everything works. All right, next up we've got a lot of cassettes. Most of them are $5, one's $6, one's $10.50, one's $8. So you got like Brian White, Black Crows, Diamond Rio, Tom Petty, The Best of Bread, K-Tel Records. Doobie Brothers in the slipcase. That's the 1051. brittle tape. I gotta be careful there. This thing is old cassette. All right. Get this up properly. There we go. Okay. Vince Gill, Diamond Rio. And hopefully the energy around the house will be a lot better now too, with Jan changing jobs. Because every day she'd come home and vent. Because she wasn't happy. Let's see if I can just do this. Do this with this other nail since I don't have any bubble wrap. Let's try that. That works. Twelve, 8x6x4. So you may see, and I feel like this video is the first of it. But you may see more videos like this where I'm just kind of not just all over the place, but lack of words or lack of thought process. Just because my mind won't be, if things keep going in a positive way, won't be dead set on a certain thing anymore. So I have to find a new focus. Whether that's, per video or just overall, I have no idea. Like my focus right now is finding a focus, figuring out my next mindset. So depending on how long that lasts, my videos may be a little weird. Because I feel like this one is just totally off weird video, so no flow, it just feels odd. So if you feel that too, then there may be more of that before I figure out my next headspace. Let me get these international now. All right, we've got this 45 record headed to China. Leroy Holmes, August Moon. Plus, I have to remember to concentrate on me. Make sure my own self-preservation is within that thought process. Making sure I exercise and eat better and all that stuff too. Keep that going. That sold for $650. So you may see a whole kind of, not really a reset, just a different, just something different, I guess. But my goal is to find a way to focus that. And then what do I turn it into? Does it turn into something that gets better views, helps more people, makes me enjoy it more, whatever the case may be. So, not that it didn't do any of those before, but a different focus. See, like, I don't even know what the frick I'm saying right now. I'm just... trying to figure that out. We got these golf shoes headed up to Canada. Nike golf shoes. These are older. Hopefully, the way this glue looks, they're probably going to fall apart the first time she wears them out. I probably put on there. I usually do that. Wear at your own risk because they're vintage. But this pair's been in the store for probably like 8 years. So hopefully I put that on there. Okay, padded, where I go, 15, 13, 2, 5. Used shoes. Those only sold for $10. Okay, those are UPS. I gotta go drop those off at UPS. Print label. Got my scan forms on these pages. Oh well. All right. All right. All right, that is it for me. Off to the post office and UPS. And yeah, so hopefully, hopefully this new rearranging the focus thing will lead to something cool. Because like one part of me wants to just stop making videos till I figure it out, but no, that's not in the equation. Like just chill, right? Just get back and just chill for a little, just chill for a minute. Just chill for a week. Just take it all in, let it all flow. But no, that's not me. Because who else am I going to talk to besides myself? At least when I talk to myself in front of a camera, it doesn't make me look crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just feels like that my last little things that were troubling me, if you will, eBay, for at least the last couple of weeks have been going in the right direction. So that's less on my mind. My last little things with the business, with the process, is not on my mind. The fact that I'm finally really digging into my storage lockers, that's not on my mind. Not in a negative way, right? Like, oh, I got all this stuff to get to. No, I'm getting to it. And it's cool and it's fun. Right? So, like, everything right now is, and then Jan changing jobs where she'll be she'll be happier and won't have to drive as much and less stress on her, and like everything's lining up to be very peaceful. Like it's been peaceful, but almost like another level of peace. The fact that Pee-wee now can go usually a minimum of 30 to 40 days without a seizure. The last one was 9 weeks. Hopefully the next one hopefully there is no other ones, but I think there always is going to be. But hopefully with this meds, it'll at least prolong it even more, which hopefully you'll get through summer without one. That would be cool. Baby girl's still doing good, even at her age. Like everything just it almost feels like 100% peace right now. Like we were probably like at 97. Like everything just feels like it's starting to come right into line or focus and honestly, I'm not used to that. I have no clue how to handle that. Like my life has always been chaos. Always. From growing up to building the business, taking care of my dad, taking care of Pee-wee for the last year and a half. The first year, I'll say that, first year. Like, my whole life has had some kind of chaos in it. And I don't want to be one of those people who has been so used to chaos for 50 years that I create my own just to feel comfortable. Like, I don't want to be that person. I'm aware that that could happen. I'm aware there are people who do that. So, making sure I am not that person. How do I enjoy peace? I don't know. What is peace? I mean, it feels like I'm getting ready to walk through a door that I've never entered before. And I think it's been good because it's been a slow climb, a slow process to get there, which I think has helped me at least be aware that something like that is happening. Don't sabotage it. But my whole thought process too is what does that entail? Not only what is it? It's something I've never experienced. What kind of opportunity can I pull from it? Right? Like, cause like even something like YouTube, right? Chaos sells. Chaos, negativity, that's what sells on channels. For the most part. The easiest sell. How about that? The easiest sell is that. I guess that'd be a nice way of putting it. The easiest and cheapest way to sell is that. So how do I take this next step without taking the easy, cheap way out, if you will? Oh, this may all sound weird to you guys. I don't know. Just something I'm not familiar with. And is that when life ends? Does life end for people who are totally peaceful? They say only the good die young type of thing, right? What if there's something to, and then you always see people who, in other situations, who, oh, he just started this. He was so happy. She was just this. She was so happy. Is that when life ends? Is when you walk through that final peaceful door? Which, if you think like that, it makes it kind of scary, right? Not scary, but like, well, do I really want to go there? But I do. I want to go there. I want to see what peace on this planet is all about. And by peace on this planet, I mean me standing on this planet being peaceful. What does that look like? What does that entail? What do I do? What will I be doing? Not what will I do, what will I be doing? Because I'm going to do whatever comes naturally or feels right, so that don't matter. But how can I aim it in a direction that's very take advantage of it, basically? Yeah. Enjoy it. Embrace it. I have no clue, but I need to get going. I got work to do so I can enjoy my day. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully that makes... it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, because it don't really make sense to me. So, all right. I will see you all in the next video. Later.